And 9 times out of 10, I got one word: good.
Well, you ask big companies and medium companies, but not small companies or individual inventors. And if they had been part of the process, the outcome might have been a little different. There are a number of things wrong with this. In particular, the change to first to file and post-grant review. So first to file basically means that people need to file early and often. And it flies in the face of the way small companies operate today. Today, they have to, they get an idea, and then they go research it, and they talk to potential customers, and then they talk to investors, myself and others, and they basically explore with other people whether this is a good idea, and if so, how to go about doing it. The process of exploring this with other people was great under our system that we've had for over 200 years, the first to invent system. But under first to file, it puts one at risk of somebody else either applying for that in lieu of you, fraudulently, but it happens, or somebody publicizing information about it, which, without citing you, which will prevent you from getting a patent.
Gary, at the risk of oversimplification here, just to speed things along, what it seems to be what you're saying, whoever hires the fastest lawyer wins. Is that right?
Well, it's not that simple. I'd say yes, that's true, but it's not that simple, because often for an inventor, they need to iterate on a number of times to make lots of changes. And so each time you have a new idea, you would need to file at that time, ideally, to protect it. And so this would be either very expensive, or you're taking a lot of risks between the time you get these ideas and you actually file.
But you're never going to make everybody happy. Never. Does this at least make two-thirds happy? And to that end, isn't this then decent legislation? That both sides, frankly, this was bipartisan. Both sides like this.
So was Sarbanes-Oxley. Sarbanes-Oxley passed by 98 or 99 votes. And that didn't seem to be such a great idea in retrospect, but that's still on our books. When you say two-thirds, it's worth pointing out that, who are the main users and beneficiaries of the patent system? I would argue that it's primarily small companies. Most large companies don't need it as much, but they're the ones who had the representation in Washington.
Okay, but can I just say, I mean, we just saw a big purchase by Google of a big tranche of what we saw, which was a lot of different patents coming from one single company. And you look at that and you say, okay, that was a big company.
Absolutely. Well, I guess my point is this.
Motorola.
Yeah, sure, but it's not an existential threat for these companies. Small companies exist or cease to exist